Chapter 6.5, Solving Fraction Equations by Multiplying. So we don't have any vocabulary in this lesson, but I want you to keep in mind a scale when you are solving problems. The reason I want you to think of a scale is that the fulcrum, the middle, this is like your equal sign. Whatever you put into one side, let's say I put in some grapes over here. Okay, here's a bunch of grapes. Whatever I put into one side, I have to put into the other side the same amount in order for the two sides to remain balanced. If I suddenly add an orange to this side is going to go down, this side's going to go up, and they aren't going to remain in balance. To balance them back out again, I have to put an orange in this side also. So keep that idea in mind when we're going through these examples. So example 1, solve x divided by 8 equals 20. So x divided by 8 equals 20. So here's that pedestal in the middle, that fulcrum of my scale. I need both sides to remain balanced, but I need to figure out what x equals. So since this is a division problem, I'm going to use the opposite of division, or multiplication, in order to get x by itself. So I'm going to multiply this side of the equation by 8. The reason I'm going to do that is because I can cross cancel these. 8 divided by 8 is equal to 1. Well, 1 times x is x. 1 times 1 is 1. So I'm left with x on this side of the equation. Well, right now my equation is not in balance. I multiplied this side by 8, but not the right side. So I need to multiply this side by 8 as well. So 20 times 8 is equal to 160. Now my two sides are in balance, and here is my answer. I can check my answer by replacing x in the original equation. X divided by 8 equals 20. I can replace x with 160. 160 divided by 8 should equal 20. If I do the math, 160 divided by 8, 8 goes into 16 two times. 8 doesn't go into 0. And I do get 20. So my answer is, in fact, correct. X equals 160. Let's take a look at example 2. In this example, the number in front of x is not a whole number like it was in example 1. Now it's a fraction. 2/3 x, or 2/3 times x, equals 8. So here, in order to get x by itself, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal of 2/3. So I'm going to multiply by 3/2. The reason I multiply by 3/2 is the same reason why I multiplied by 8 in example 1. I can cross cancel these, get 1s. 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 1 is 1, and I am left with x. Since I multiplied the left side by 3/2, I'm going to multiply the right half of the equation by 3/2 also, which means I need to turn 8 into a fraction. A whole number as a fraction always has a denominator of 1. Go ahead and cross cancel the 8 and the 2, divide both by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 8 divided by 2 is 4. And 4 times 3 equals 12. Now again, I can go and check my work. 2/3 times 12, we'll say over 1, equals 8, or at least it should. I can cross cancel 3 and 12 by dividing by 3. 4 times 2 is 8. 1 times 1 is 1. And 8 equals 8. So this does in fact check out. All right, so let's take a look at a word problem. Example 3. A volunteer group has 6 yards of material to use to make flags for a community day. Each flag uses 5/8 of a yard of material. How many flags can the group make? So, I'm going to draw a quick sketch just to make sure I know what I'm doing. So, I have 6 yards of material. I'm going to break that material into pieces that are each 5/8 of a yard. However, these dots here represent the number of pieces I have. I'm not sure. If I look at it in words, I have the yards per flag times the number of flags equals the total yards of material. So, how do we solve this? We start plugging in numbers. The yards per flag, I use 5/8 of a yard per flag times some number of flags. I'm not sure yet, so times x equals 6 yards. So 5/8 x equals 6. I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. Oh yeah, 8/5, so that these cross cancel. Multiply by 8/5 over here. X equals 48 divided by 5, which equals 9 3/5. Well, I know that what I'm looking for is the number of flags. I know I can't make 3/5 of the flag, so they can make 9 flags. They can't make 10 flags, they don't have enough material. You can't make 3/5 of a flag, so common sense tells me I can only make 9 flags. All right, that's it for examples. Do your QCs and your CYU, and I will answer questions the next time I see you.